Hey guys, and welcome to episode 20 of the quest for the Lava-Crystallized Hammer. And on this one, I'm going to be doing KPL and Cosmo, and we just have to kill some mobs here. So just like the RKL video that I posted the other day, this one is going to be about my favorite memories from KPL, or at least the first week of it, and our initial impressions and how hard it was in comparison to RKL or any of the other first days. So this dungeon actually came out in September 2011, and that was only a few weeks before Halloween. It was like a month before, so we were playing this at like Halloween time. So it's a really Halloween theme, so it was really fun. And we didn't have soul dailies back then, so it was just doing it for gear and for fun. And the first day, I was with I forgot who. I was with some really pro tank and a really good team, and we actually did beat it, I think, the first or the second day on Legendary mode. And as I said in the RKL video, I wasn't able to beat that the first week even, because, we still had, like, green gear back then. And I think I actually converted to blue gear for RKL. But anyways, on this one, I had 6 out of 6 rune gear, but also I think 2 out of 6 epic hood and gloves for T1, so that made it a lot easier. And the first boss was actually pretty hard. Like, all the mobs leading up to the first boss were hard, so it took a while to get past those. And we had to understand that the mage has to use fire barrage a lot. That's when, like, fire barrage and mages were really needed for the first time in dungeons. And also that was the first time that mages could actually, like, solo farm mobs in a dungeon. So that was really cool. I don't know if mages still can. I guess some pro mages can, but it's really hard because of the poison and everything. So the executioner was, like, really hard. We actually didn't know what to do at first, and he actually took the longest to learn out of any of the 3 bosses, I think. Maybe Cosmo took a little longer, I'm not sure. But the executioner was definitely pretty hard. So eventually we learned that you have to pray on the first or the second Cyclone Slash, and then the tank had to use Guardian Stance, and you can't attack when he's doing that whatever phase where he reflects damage. So that one took a while to learn, but eventually we got that down. And then the next few mobs were pretty easy. We were able to skip some of them. And we got to Aerial, and that was like, what? That was impossible. And eventually we learned that the monk had to have the most responsibility for Aerial because he does AoE damage, and the monk just basically has to use Ring of Healing a lot. That's when Ring of Healing really came into effect for a needed skill for monks for the first time. So, oh crap, wow, they didn't kill the puppet. This team. The team I'm on now is like first week of our KPL. God damn it. Alright, this better not take too long. So Aerial was pretty hard, and the mobs, we just got a mage to do that, so that wasn't too bad. And then we got to Cosmo, and the mobs leading up to him, they took forever because there were just so many of them, and they did a lot of damage. So the mage had a bit of trouble with that, but eventually he learned it too. Then we got to Cosmo, and he actually used to be a lot bigger than this, and he was freaking impossible because of the puppets, which this team had a little trouble with a few seconds ago. And then, like, he does this AoE damage, so the monk has to use Ring of Healing, which I'm using right now, and also Prayer of Pure Faith, like, later on. So eventually we learned that you have to kill the puppet really fast. I'm just going to help kill it so he doesn't gain his health back. Otherwise, he does gain his health back. So, yeah, Cosmo was really hard the first week, but I think on the second day, I actually got a team together that was able to beat him. So that was pretty cool. A lot of people were doing KPL as opposed to RKL, and that was the first time that people, like, chose which dungeon they wanted to do over another one, because there were actually 2 dungeons for the first time. So that was really fun. What ruined KPL was when people started to glitch through the walls to get to Cosmo. That kind of ruined it because, it was kind of cheap. I remember doing it too. I think that wall hacking is a lot worse than that, but, that was pretty bad too. So, Game Loft fixed that eventually, of course, but for the longest time, people were skipping the entire dungeon just to get to Cosmo, because the dungeon does take quite a while. Or it did take quite a while. It doesn't anymore, except this team like has no DPS, so... So yeah, KPL was definitely one of my favorite dungeons. At the time, I liked it opposed to RKL. I think RKL is probably a little better because like it's the only dungeon that's like that where it's not exploration, it's just like just defensive. So RKL was definitely the biggest challenge, and KPL was not as big of a challenge because we were able to beat it pretty easily. Essences of Death are really hard to get though. Let's see if he dropped one. Yep, he dropped one. Wow. The last two runs, Essence of Swamp dropped on the RKL run that I showed, now Essence of Death dropped. It's pretty cool. Alright, so that's it for this video. I know I said a lot. That's because I woke up and I'm not thinking very well. But next video will be Capitular in KPL, and I remember how hard that was the first week, but I also remember an exploit that happened, so I will be talking about that next episode. So thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.